ready for your training, soldier?
Yes, sir, yes.
Not, sir, you fool!
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Are you ready to give me 20 gold heads?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
So we have to get 308,000 points.
That's the minimum we need for first place. Now, there's a day and a half left, so first place maybe even more. Now, let's quickly have a look at the buffs before we start. So we have War Frenzy, which is 3% attack. We have 10% infantry health from the city skin. We have the King buffs, which is 5% everything. And I did collect a 7% health rune. Now, I'm going to use Charles Martel and Alex, and this is because of the double shields, and that's pretty much what I think everyone uses nowadays anyways. But when it came to Charles Martel's talent tree, I don't think I had the appropriate points. There was quite a few points that were rather wasted, so I'm changing it. If you want, you can copy this. This is a very good talent tree for this event. Now, I just brought out my march, just showing you the talent tree again, and let's look at the equipment. Now, I'm going for all health and defense. There's not a single attack from what I know, so look at that. Infantry defense 50% and health was quite high as well. I didn't get a chance to look. We have Knighthead and Iron Guard, both Charles Martel and Alex. Now, I'm just refreshing my ruin. Yep, there it is, 7% health. Now, because I got the King, I'm actually going to use the King skill, and then I'm going to give you the secret scroll or the dragon scroll. And there it is. Now, I'm calling it the dragon scroll because I can't read it. I can just read the numbers. I don't know whether it says use Alex and Charles or it says something else. I don't know. Now, you may be confused, why are we using infantry when infantry gets less attack? Now, don't get confused about it. This has been trialed and tested many times, and infantry still does pretty good with Charles and Alex. Double shields is the best thing to do. Now, Em, are you confused why I have 3 marches?
Yeah, I sort of am.
So, I'm using 2 marches to buff my Charles and Alex. So, we are using Trine and Mulan, and we are using Constantine and Joan. And I'm fighting a march from RoKStaR. All of them has little troops, so that there's less healing, I guess.
When are you actually going to hit your Loha?
So I'm about to do it now. So what I was waiting for is for my support marchers to cast their skills at least 5 times, preferably 6 times. So after the support marchers cast their skills 6 times, by that time your Charles and Alex will be full on their rage bar, so that as soon as they hit, then you can cast your skill, as in your marches will cast your shield, well, skill, which means in Charles's case, shields. Now, I did actually do a little mistake there. I accidentally pulled out my support marches, but you're not meant to pull them out. So look at this example. So you need to let your support marches keep fighting whilst you're hitting your Lohar. You can only pull out after you have defeated your Lohar. So I did it properly this time. Now, in terms of the support marches, you need to make sure that you have them casting their skills at least 5 times and preferably 6 times, because otherwise you're not going to be on full rage. So that was the part I wanted to show in 2x speed. Now for the rest of the video, we are going to speed it up a little bit more, and this is just to show you guys how much effort goes in making these videos, or how much grinding is involved in terms of getting these events done. So 20 gold heads or even 8 for top 10 doesn't come easy. You have to do quite a bit to get that. Now, there is one other march that I think I should have used, but again, I was a little lazy and I didn't have my marches at home, so I didn't kind of bother with it. But if you wanted, you could have used your Cleopatra as well. So Cleo gives you a defense boost, I think 10% or so. So you definitely could have used that.
But isn't Cleopatra farming commander?
Cleopatra is a farming commander, but then again she does have that boost. And also I think, and now this is where I'm going a little bit too far. I don't think anyone puts that much effort. You could have used a William as well, but for William, rather than one march from the other player that I'm fighting, RoKStaR in this case, RoKStaR needed to bring 2 marches, I think, so that William can hit both of their marches at the same time, and then William gives you a little bit more buff. So if I was adamant that I needed to get first place, and if you guys are in that place, maybe you can include that as well, but in my case I think I'm happy with top 10. So even this was a lot of effort. Now don't forget your healing, so I'm doing my healing on the side as well. Now the other thing to mention is I did bring the city in the middle of Alliance territory so that all the fighting is taking place within the Alliance territory.
Oh, because I know troops get a boost when they're in their Alliance territory.
That's right. And then in terms of my other boosts,
you got a defense and an army expansion.
Yep, so I'm using a 50% army expansion and I'm using a 10% defense. Now I do have a bit more troop than usual because I think my ancient stratagem is specialized for infantry as well, so that gives me a little bit of extra troops. Now the other equipment that I kind of used was Horn of Fury, and I'm not too sure whether I would have been better off using the coin, but then I was thinking with double shield, the coin has a random shield, and I kind of feel like my shields are almost always gonna be up, so I'm not too sure whether the shield was a better option. Now if you guys think the shield would have been a better option, definitely let us know in the comments field. Now whilst we are going through this video, one request that we will have for you guys is if there's anything that you learned from this video, or if you even enjoyed the effort that we put in making these videos, you need to make sure that
you like and subscribe,
because otherwise we don't know whether you actually appreciate the content that we're making. I think there are some analytics on YouTube that we can see where I think M was telling me today we have 80 or 85% of the people not subscribed, something like that.
It was
82% people not subscribed. So guys, if you do subscribe, hit the like button, then we know that we are being appreciated and you want to see more of the videos, and then it makes us happy knowing that our effort is adding some value in someone's life. Now in terms of the low hearts training itself, so one other thing I will mention is, say for example in M's case, so M, did you do any of this?
Well, I did, but I lost.
So what M did is, M didn't use any of the boosts that are expensive. So with Osiris like coming up, she's obviously saving her 10% and the 50% boosts.
I just want to say what I did. So I did my equipment, and on the commander view page I did the drill master and all those buffs.
Yep, and that's probably good enough for you to get all the drumsticks that you get out of this event, as in I mean get the last chest. So unless you're going to rank within top 10, for which you actually do need to have expertise commanders and really good equipment and all sorts of buffs and everything, so unless you have that, don't worry about pushing, because after the top 10 rank the rewards drastically drops off and it's definitely not good. Now one other random idea I want to check with you guys. Now I may sound like an idiot, but this thought just came to me. So think about this. If I used one other march, not the William and Cleopatra I was talking about, but this is a separate march. If I was using a JC primary and I was using a Alex secondary, and with that much I would have a lot of troops, and then if I was using full marches for all my other support marches and RoKStaR was using a very small number of troops, then at some stage will my Charles and Alex become the march with the least amount of troops remaining and get that Alex shield? Does that even make sense? You guys think that works?
I don't think it makes sense. I didn't understand the word you said.
So, guys, that did sound a little complicated to me as well. Now, whilst we are having this chat, we are at the end of the event, I think. So we are hitting number 10, are we? So we are almost done. So do you think we got it? Do you think we managed to get over 308,000?
Well, your Charles is at full health, so I don't see why not.
Not really full health, so it's a little bit lower than what I expected. But saying that, we are not in KvK, this is normal kingdom, and 308, generally speaking, in a normal kingdom rather than KvK Tech is not a bad option. And yes, we did. Time to dance.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yep. So we did manage to get first place, so that's a pretty decent score. Now, in terms of the dragon scroll or the secret scroll that I showed you,
This is a new one. Now, before you use it, please drop a like and a sub. Good luck with your training.